Welcome to The Explainer. Parenting, it's probably the most rewarding and, let's be honest, the toughest job on the planet. In this explainer, we're pulling together some amazing advice from top Thai psychologists and parenting experts to create a kind of roadmap for this incredibly high stakes journey.
And look, when we say high stakes, we really mean it. This isn't just about getting through tantrums or homework. It's about the kind of person you are shaping for the future. So, let's jump right in with a really heavy question that gets right to the heart of why this all matters so much.
It's a tough question to even look at, right? But experts from Mahidol University say it's one we absolutely have to ask. I mean, especially when we hear about shocking cases in the news, like the serial killer Ice Heap Lek. You have to wonder, how does a person even get to that point?
Wow, that statement, it's just so powerful because it puts everything back in perspective. The foundation for who we become is built right there at home. And we're not just talking about obvious physical abuse. The experts are clear. Neglect, constantly harsh words, or always comparing one kid to another. That stuff can be just as damaging. It creates these deep emotional wounds that can last a whole lifetime.
And this, right here, is the challenge every parent is facing today. As clinical psychologist Audrey Gels puts it, kids today, this Gen Alpha, they were born with a smartphone in their hands. They have all the information in the world at their fingertips. They're just wired differently. And that old school parenting playbook of, because I said so, yeah, that's just not going to fly anymore.
Okay, so knowing all that, the stakes being so incredibly high, where do you even start? Well, all the experts we looked at agree on one thing. It all starts with building an unshakable foundation of emotional security. You can really see how one stage just stacks right on top of the other. Developmental experts lay out a super clear path. That first year is all about safety. It's about teaching your baby through consistent care that the world is a safe place and their needs will be met. Then you build on that with unconditional love. And finally, once they feel safe and loved, they have the confidence as teenagers to figure out who they are and find their place in the world. So how do you actually do this? How do you create that safe space? Well, it's not about the expensive toys or gadgets. It's about these simple phrases, said consistently and with real meaning. They build that strong, secure connection. And that last one, I'm sorry. Wow. Hearing a parent apologize can be one of the most powerful things for a child. It teaches them that everyone makes mistakes and that repairing a relationship is what matters.
All right, so once you've got that solid, secure foundation built, what's next? Well, now we start giving our kids the tools they need to handle the big, messy, complicated world of emotions. Not just their own, but other people's too. Parenting expert Crew Nam says empathy is absolutely critical. It's a non-negotiable life skill. And the great thing is, you can actually teach it. It can be as simple as asking a question that gets them to step outside their own head for a second, like, how do you think your friend felt when that happened?
Okay, this is a game changer. Seriously, this is one of the most practical tools you can start using, right now. Instead of a you message, which always sounds like you're blaming or attacking them, try an I message. See the difference? I feel worried when is about your feelings. It's hard to argue with that. But a you message like, why are you so lazy, just attacks their character. One opens the door to a conversation, the other one just slams it shut.
And speaking of words that slam the door shut, this one is just a gut punch. Experts from the Mahidol channel point out that comparison, even if you just blurt it out when you're frustrated, is one of the absolute quickest ways to destroy a kid's self-worth. It just screams, you, just as you are not good enough. Okay, so we've got security, we've got the emotional toolkit. The next huge piece of the puzzle is responsibility. And I mean real, genuine responsibility. The kind that comes from the inside, not because someone is standing over them with a checklist. Yeah, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Child development expert Dr. Ploy makes a great point. True responsibility isn't about a kid just following orders. It's an internal mindset, a sense of ownership that they have to develop for themselves. See, the whole mindset here shifts from control to empowerment. It starts with making them feel heard, validating their feelings, and then giving them small, age-appropriate choices. It builds their decision-making muscle and shows that you trust them. And when a kid feels that loved and respected, well, responsibility just kind of follows naturally. Let's make this real. Here's what this actually looks like day to day. Let's take that homework example. Instead of turning it into a nightly battle, you reframe it. You say, hey, homework is your deal with your teacher, but I'm here to help if you get stuck. Boom. You just went from being the bad guy, the enforcer, to being their coach on the sidelines. It completely changes the game.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Let's talk about the big picture, the ultimate goal. After all this hard work, all these struggles and triumphs, what are we really aiming for? What's the end game here?
This is so important. Ajarngal points out a huge trap that so many well-meaning parents fall into today. We focus on our kids' immediate happiness. We rush in to solve every problem, shield them from any struggle, and make sure they're never bored. It might make them happy for a minute, but in the long run, we're actually robbing them of the chance to learn how to be resilient. And that right there, that brings us to the core mission of parenting. Our job isn't to raise a child who is happy all the time. Our job is to raise an adult who knows how to create their own happiness, an adult who is self-sufficient, who can handle setbacks, and who can find joy on their own terms. And sometimes that means letting them struggle a bit while we stand by as their biggest, most unshakable fans.
Look, nobody said this was going to be easy. Parenting is incredibly hard work. There's just no way around it. But the payoff, seeing your child grow into a capable, kind, and self-reliant adult, is worth every single second. So after all of this, just think about it. What's one small thing, one tiny change you can make today that will help build their tomorrow?